thank you to all of you who participated in it, and thanks Kevin and Blaine for having us back here again today to talk about this.
Thanks, Bill. Now that's a polite crowd. I didn't even have to cue you to give him a hand. Thank you. All right, next, we're going to start our first panel. And I want to bring up our moderator. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Stephen Cheung. Those of you that have been around LA business, they know Stephen, but Stephen is the CEO and president of the Los Angeles Economic Development Corporation and a subsidiary, the World Trade Center Los Angeles. Big job. As CEO of the LAEDC, Mr. Cheung brings together the capabilities of LAEDC's mission-centered delivery departmental areas, including the Institute for Applied Economics, which is research, business assistant, industry cluster development, workforce development, World Trade Center Los Angeles, strategic relations, communications and marketing, and public policy, into a single team that delivers the LAEDC's critically important public benefit mission, reinventing our economy to collaboratively advance growth and prosperity for all. One thing I'd like to say personally, come on up, Stephen, is that we've been working together. LAEDC is the regional convener for California Jobs First, and we've been comrades in bringing forth workforce development along with several other key people, steering committee members in this room. So Stephen, I'm going to have you introduce your panel members one by one and let them speak on themselves.
Great, thank you so much, Kevin, and thank you BizEd Institute for the invitation to moderate this panel. Excited, I see Blaine walking around, I'm already nervous because he's going to put the number up. I'm going to catch us up, I speak fast, so we're going to catch up on time. So, good morning, again, Stephen Cheung here. So the first panel is really going to be focused on success stories and path to a skilled workforce and why this is so important to us. A little bit about LAEDC that Kevin was mentioning is that our hope is to be able to create a competitive economy, and our theory of change in terms of how do we do these, how do we create a competitive region so that we can have a thriving economy is that we want to have competitive industry clusters located throughout the Los Angeles region. So we're not dependent on one single industry. And our hope is to use our 5-pillar approach that Kevin was talking about earlier between research, business assistance, international trade, strategic relations as a way to drive industry cluster work, right? And in order for us to do so, we really need to start paying attention to some of the things that Bill was mentioning earlier as well. One of the things that we've been tracking very closely is that last year we had our economic forecast, which by the way, next week we're gonna have our economic forecast event, so hopefully you guys can join us. But last year we released some analysis. LA's population is expected to continue to decline. And we're expecting that in the next 5 years, our population will drop to about 9.5 million people, compared to before COVID at 10.2 million. No, not that big of a deal, right? That's 700,000 less people than what we had before COVID. To most US city, that's a major US city. We just lost the entire population there. So in order for us to be very competitive in the future, we have to make sure that our workforce are completely aligned with the future. And that's why the panel in front of you is going to be so important to talk about some of the pathways, some of the success stories. What do we need to do as a region in order for us to get there? So I'm excited to bring them up and have them introduce themselves. So Dr. Eric Bullard from UCL Extension, please join us. Ms. Cynthia Mitchell-Hurd from LA Urban League, please join us. Mr. Randall Martinez from Cordova Corporation, please join us. And last but not least, Ms. Kim Federick from JVS SoCal, please join us. We'll squeeze it.
That's a nice tricky chair.
Now, if you'd like me to adjust them, I can adjust them for you.
We're old.
My back is not used to this. I'm spinning out of control here, so I'll spin myself back. Good morning, welcome. So, glad to have you guys all here. Why don't we have each one of you talk a little bit about yourself, maybe 2 minutes introduction, but also your organization and your company, a bit of background so the audience know what you're working on. So why don't we start with Eric? Why don't you start first?
All right, thank you. Again, my name is Eric Bullard. I serve as the Dean of the Division of Continuing Education here at UCLA. UCLA Extension, for those of you that are not aware, we actually predate the existence of the main campus. So we started in 1917 in downtown LA on 2nd and Hill Street. Today, we've grown into an organization that serves over 36,000 students a year through our programs that are students mostly from Los Angeles and Southern California, over 20,000 of them. And our programs span from everything from engineering and technology to entertainment studies. And we focus on making sure that we train the workforce of the future. So we work with businesses and industries across Los Angeles to ensure that we're really bridging that divide that you saw on the survey and making sure that we're providing the skills that are needed for the workforce. UCLA, one way in which we differ from the main campus is that